job versus business. Both the professions, job and business, have their own pros and cons. First and foremost of all comes the risk, which very few are willing to take it. As per the statistics, only 1 to 2 businesses will succeed significantly, 3 to 4 businesses get moderate success, and 5 to 6 businesses will fail. Whereas, while working in a job, everybody will get paid without any risk of losses. While job seems to be a very safe scheme where there is a no loss guarantee, we should not forget that comfort often comes at a cost. What you are potentially sacrificing for security, your freedom, creativity, or dreams, opportunity cost, etc. Now, what do you think opportunity cost is? It's nothing but if you stop doing one thing, the time and effort you were going to give it there now can be utilized somewhere else. I'll give you a perfect example of opportunity cost. An OTT actor Pankaj Tripathi says that if my father could afford a tractor, I would have been a farmer now, not an actor. Here, he would have paid a huge opportunity cost if he had continued working as a farmer. Moreover, it's not that you don't have any risk in job. You never know when the recession hits, and also in IT jobs, the technology you are working on might become outdated after few years. Also, once you hit the mark of 25 to 30 LPA, you will be left with limited opportunities to switch. The appraisal you get will be around 3 to 5%, which is even not enough to beat inflation. Whereas, when you are working in a business, you will face real world challenges, and while overcoming those challenges, you will grow as a person. The biggest problem in job is your employer thinks you are underutilized and overpaid. On the other hand, you think that you are underpaid. So this is the main reason that in 70 to 80% of jobs, there is no job satisfaction. While in business, you even might have to put in more work, but since you are working for yourself, your rewards will directly be proportional to your hard work. While working in a job, once you cross 40 to 45 years of age, you will be left with a little to no enthusiasm to learn any new skills or technology. So switching a job, especially in IT field, where you are required to learn continuously, becomes more difficult. And you will prefer working in the same organization, accepting 3 to 4% appraisal, calling yourself well settled. And very few people know that once you cross 55 years of age, these corporates are scouting for opportunities to retire you. Good thing about job is your working hours are fixed. Although in India, as per Indian work culture, you even might have to extend for 2 to 3 hours after going back home. So including those extra hours and travel time for say 2 to 3 hours every day, you are almost occupied for 13 to 14 hours every single day. So for any kind of extracurricular work like maintenance and all, you will have to completely depend on your weekends. Even many people have their partner working in a different shift, so they meet each other only on weekends. This makes it even more difficult to find a proper work-life balance as you cannot spend enough time with your family and loved ones. Now, coming to business, initially you will have to work for 15 to 16 hours. But once all the systems are in place and everybody is well aware of their roles and responsibilities, once business becomes capable to go into an autopilot stage, then you can take time off as per your requirement. Although few entrepreneurs claim work-life balance is a myth, some people might argue that when you are not present in a shop, employees won't work efficiently. This is correct, but opening a shop and sitting there entire day is not considered a proper business. It is a kind of self-employment where you are working for yourself. An author, Michael Gerber, says in his book E-Myth Revisited that if your business depends on you, then you have a job and it's the worst job in this world. This kind of makes sense, right? So you are working from 9 am to 10 pm sitting in a shop for entire day. You have only got one life. Do you really want to spend it that way? I guess your answer is no. Well, next comes freedom. Just ask yourself where you will get more freedom, in a job or a business. Working in a job, you have a boss, so you don't choose the timing and location of your choice. You are bound to follow specific time and location, whereas in business, you are your own boss. So here you can enjoy time freedom as well as location freedom. As in job, you are technically trading your time for money. You cannot have financial freedom either. What do you think financial freedom really is? Think about a scenario. For some reason, you're not able to go to office and work. So, for how many days your employer will pay you? For 2 weeks? 2 months? What after that? Eventually you will get fired, right? No matter how big or genuine your problem is, your employer is not going to buy it. So here comes the concept of financial freedom. What is financial freedom? Consider your monthly expenses are X amount, but you are getting a passive income of, suppose, let's say 3X amount. So your lifestyle expenses, your savings, as well as your investments are all taken care by passive income itself. So you are not dependent on your active income anymore, and there is no compulsion for you to go and work for money. This is nothing but financial freedom. For the next point, I have an interesting analogy. As we know, there are two types of watches. One is normal watch and another is waterproof watch. The waterproof watch is unaffected by the water. It functions smoothly even in heavy rains or underwater. Similarly, we have two types of income. One is normal income and another is inflation-proof income. And inflation-proof income is not affected by inflation. We will see an example of both the incomes. Consider a petrol bunk dealer who for say earns 4% of commission, and let us suppose rate of 1 liter petrol is 100 rupees. He will earn 4 rupees of profit for selling 1 liter of petrol. Now, 7 years later, due to 10% inflation compounded every year, the price of petrol for 1 liter becomes 200 rupees. That is, it becomes double. So if we calculate the same profit margin of 4%, now the dealer will earn 8 rupees of profit for selling 1 liter of petrol as compared to 4 rupees which he was earning 7 years back. Now, due to inflation, cost of goods have increased, but the profit also increased accordingly without subsequently losing any purchasing power. This is an example of inflation-proof income. Similarly, rental income and almost every business income is inflation-proof income. For the normal income, consider an example of a salaried income, that is, job. If we consider practical inflation, which is around 10% in India, I am using a word practical inflation because inflation numbers by government are not actual numbers, they are kind of manipulated. Not everyone will get annual appraisal of 10%, especially when your salary is high. Many people will continue working for 5 to 10 years for almost little to no increment in pay. So, if you are getting an appraisal of 3% and actual inflation is 10%, then your salary hike is not matching inflation, right? Here, the purchasing power of your annual income is decreasing every year by 6 to 7%. So, salaried income is never an inflation-proof income. Most people won't even realize the difference, but this will have a huge impact on our life compounded over 30 to 40 years of our career. For example, your annual salary is 50 lakhs, which is enough to buy 1 BHK flat. Now next year, your salary at a 3 to 4% annual appraisal will become 51.5 lakhs, but the price of the flat will become 55 lakhs. So now, 1 year of your annual income is not enough to buy the same flat which you were able to buy last year. And this difference will only keep increasing over the years, and in this way, your annual income will keep losing its buying power, making you poor every subsequent year. For the next point, I will give you one scenario. Let us suppose you are earning 1 CR per annum, which comes to about 20,000 per day. But few thugs got aware of your income and they are asking you extortion money of amount 11,000 rupees approx per day for your protection. They won't harm you provided you give them 11,000 rupees each day after earning 28k. Just imagine, how would your life? Would you be okay with it? No, right? Do you know what is the name of that thug? It's government collecting around 40% income tax including cess and surcharge on 1 CR income. So guess what? You are working 5 months for the government. If you include GST, you are working 6 to 7 months for the government. As salaried people cannot save GST while spending, whereas business people have a provision to adjust and save GST while spending. So when a salaried person earns 1 CR annually, around 40 lakhs is deducted at source first and then remaining 60 to 65 lakhs is received, where in business there is no compulsion of paying any taxes. After earning same 1 CR profit, business people can manage their accounts and show that they are making losses and still pay zero income tax. Do you know Elon Musk, one of the world's richest people, pays even lesser tax than few of his employees? See, taxes and inflation work in favor of rich and against the poor and middle class. Taxes and inflation make such a deadly combo to keep middle class people remain middle class for their entire life. So this was the difference in taxes. Now, next scenario will define our next point. Imagine you are working in a job and earning a decent 2 lakh rupees per month, and now you are about to retire. Suppose your son is average in studies and struggling to make a living for himself, and now you want to pass on your class 1 position to your son so that he will get settled in his life. Is it possible? No, right? But when it comes to business, it is possible to pass on your business to next generation. You will go from 0 to 100. Your next generation will start from where you left, that is from 100 to 200, next from 200 to 300, and so on. While those who are working in a job, every generation of theirs will have to start all the way from zero and struggle. So this is one of the biggest advantage of having a business over a job. Now coming to the last point, consider this thing. Everyone has 24 hours in a day. So one person will give around 10 to 12 hours as discussed earlier. So we can only have one job at a time. We cannot have two jobs at the same time. So what most of the job people do is they will work and their spouse will also work so that they will earn 2x amount of money as two people are working and investing their time and effort. But in business, you can use the concept of leverage. We all have 24 hours in a day, right? So there is a limit to how much amount of time can we invest in a day, but there is no limit to number of people you hire to work for your business. All those people will invest their time for your business. You can hire as many employees as required provided your business is growing. Similarly, let's say you have invested an X amount in your business, so now you can borrow 4x, 5x amount from banks and invest it in your business and multiply your income just by paying some interest cost. Only thing is, you need to grow your business. There is no limit. You can use leverage for time and money to increase your income multifold. And this is the reason world's topmost billionaires have grown their business beyond anyone's imagination. So this was all about job versus business. Please like, share, subscribe for more such content.